Study guide number 4 for Algebra 1. Number 1, find the sum of negative 1.43 and positive 1.32. Well, when you have a positive and a negative, you have to take the difference in the numbers. So I'm going to take 1.43, which without the signs is the biggest one, and to subtract 1.32 from it. 2 from 3 is 1, 3 from 4 is 1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Now, the sign of the biggest one, the negative without the signs, when you look at absolute value, this one is larger than this one when we don't have a sign. And if this is the biggest one, the sign is negative, so it's going to be B, which is negative 0.11. Number 2, find the difference of negative 2 minus negative 3. Well, when we subtract a negative, that's the same thing as adding a positive. So we've got negative 2 plus, a double negative is always a plus, 3. Signs are different, so 2 from 3 is 1, and positive 3 is the biggest of the two. When you look at the 2 and 3 without the signs, this is the biggest, and it is a positive 1, which is C. Okay, order of operation. Let's go in here and do the innermost, in this case, division first, the parentheses, which has a division of 10 divided by 2. So I'm going to rewrite everything. I'm going to say my braces, and then I'm going to have 14 minus 5, close the parentheses, plus 3, and then with my braces closed, and then squared. Now we'll go inside again and do 14 minus 5, which is still got my braces, and I have 14 minus 5 is 9, plus 3, squared. Well, we still change that. It's just a grouping symbol, the way we've got it set up. So now we have 9 plus 3, which is 12, squared, and 12 times 12 is 144. So that's going to be D. 144 inches to feet. Now, a lot of you still just do it by arithmetic. I'm going to do it by unit multiplier just for practice, because you need to see more and more of these unit multipliers. I think you have some possibly in this lesson. 144 inches, and we want our answer to be feet. So the units, 1 foot, is 12 inches. Now, it's either going to be 1 foot over 12 inches, which is a true unit. 1 foot and 12 inches are both the same, or 12 inches over 1 foot. The easiest way to do it is put the one you want on top and the one you're trying to get rid of on the bottom. So I'm trying to get rid of inches and get feet as my answer. So I'm going to put it 1 foot over 12 inches. My inches cancel. I'm left with feet on top. So I've got my units. Now I just have to cancel my 12 and my 144, and I get 12 feet, which is B. Number 5, order from least to greatest. Now these are all negatives, so we're looking for the one that looks the largest without the negative signs. So let's get them all to decimals. We've got negative 1.263. We've got negative 1.190, and 3/5 is 0.6, so I've got negative 1.600. So this one looks like the biggest one, so it would definitely be the smallest one. It's going to be it's going to be the one. These are all between negative 0, negative 1, negative 2. And so negative 1.6 is going to be much closer to negative 2, further away. So that's our negative 1 3/5. So that's going to eliminate this one, A and B. So it's got to be C or D. And then the next one would be this one. Negative 1.2 is going to be about right there. And then negative 1.19 is going to be about right there. So negative 1.2 is our next one. And then the negative 1.19. So C is going to be our answer. Okay, first on number 6, 38 divided by negative 1.9. A positive divided by negative is negative, so I'm going to automatically eliminate these two answers. And so now I'm just going to divide 1.9 into 38 because I already know my sign. Well, remember, we need to make our divisor a whole number, so I'm going to move the decimal one decimal place, like multiplying by 10. And so I'm going to do the same thing here. My decimal is after the 38, add a 0, and move it over and bring it straight up. 19 goes into 38 2 times, and then 19 goes into 0 0 times. So the answer is negative 20, which is B. Okay, number 19. Let's estimate the square root of 86 to the nearest integer. And of course it says use a calculator, but we're not doing that. So we're going to estimate it. Now, you could go down here and work backwards. I'm going to work it. You can do it that way if you want to. I'm going to do it like we did the ones in class. I'm going to take the square root of 86, and I'm going to talk about what's below it and above it. Well, the closest perfect square below it is square root of 81. That's 9 squared. Square root of 81 is 9. And so then the next one up would be 100, whose square root is 10. Well, you see that 86 is only 5 away from 81, but it's 14 away from 100. So it's definitely going to be closer to 9, which is D. An experiment consists of rolling 2 fair number cubes. What is the probability the total shown on both number cubes is less than or equal to 10? We want it in a fraction in lowest terms. So let's talk about rolling a pair of number cubes. You can get, I think we're going to need, I think we might need this for the other one. I'm going to go ahead and write it out. You can write it pretty quick. You can roll a pair of dice. An easy way to look at this is if they were 2 different colors, because you could have one on one and one on the other, and then one with a 2 all the way down to 6. Now, having a 2 on the first one and a 1 on the second one is different than this. So we'll run our 2's. And I'm not going to put commas in them, save a little bit of time. And then we'll run our 3's. And our 4's. And 5's. And 6's. Okay, if you count all these up, you've got 6 columns of 6 rows, so there's 36 ways to roll a pair of dice. How many of those have a total shown on both number cubes is less than or equal to 10? Well, let's kind of start eliminating. There is 10, and it said it could be equal to 10, so there's 10, and 10, and 10, and then these are greater than, and then the sum is going to be less than 10. Well, this row is 9, as you see on the diagonals. So all of these are going to add up, and all of these upward. Those are all going to be less. And then coming across here, we split it right here. That was our equal to, and then all of these again. So it's probably easier, instead of counting those up, to take our 36 and see how many we took away. Well, we took away 3 of them. So we have 33 over 36. I'm going to divide by 3 over 3, and I get 11 over 12, which is B. Number 9, simplify 4 times 4p minus 6. Notice the 4p minus 6 is in parentheses. If you want to distribute, which is what you've got to do to get rid of those parentheses, so we've got 4 times 4p, which is 16p, and that would eliminate D. And then we've got 4 times negative 6, which is going to be a negative 24. And you'll see that that's going to eliminate, and our answer will be C. The last multiple choice. Raul plays on the school baseball team. In the last 8 games, Raul was at bat 36 times and got 11 hits. What is the experimental probability that Raul will get a hit during his next time at bat? Express it in fraction in lowest terms. Well, if he's at bat 36 times and they want to know what's the probability of getting a hit, which they said he got 11 hits, is 11 over 36, and that is in lowest terms. So that's B. Okay, we need to evaluate each expression. I'm going to be putting 8 in for x and 5 in for 7. So I've got negative x, that's negative 1 times x, which would be negative 8 minus 5. Put that in parentheses. Minus, open parentheses, 8 plus 5. So in here I've got negative 13, and here I've got minus a positive 13, and negative 13 minus 13 is negative 26. When the signs are the same, you simply add and take the sign of the problem. Number 16, x, y, and z. So we've got x on the outside being multiplied by some things in parentheses, and I've got negative 2, I'm just going to use dots, times negative 4 times 2, all over x times z, 3 times 2. So let's do our parentheses. We've got negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8, times 2 is 16. The denominator is 6. 3 times 16 is 48, divided by 6, and 6 goes into 48 8 times. Scoot it over for you.